Okay, fine. So today is day two, and I'll make a new package known as day two. Fine. And we'll start off with object-oriented programming. Oh, okay, this is the backbone for Selenium. Okay, and everything is object-oriented in Selenium. Right, we have classes whose objects and all which we make. Okay, so let me take up a very, very simple class known as animal. Okay, I made a class known as animal, and this class has no main function. Okay, now what are the features of animal? Okay, for example, you can say that it has public void sleep. Okay, and you can write over here system.out.println animal sleeping. Okay, you can declare the name variable. This represents the name of the animal. All right, fine. Now I'll create one more class in which I will refer this class. Okay, I'll create a new class known as test animal. Right. And what I will do is I will refer the animal class in the main function. This test animal has got the main function. What I'll do is that I'll create the object. Okay, I'll create the object of the animal class over here. I'll write over here new animal. This is known as object. What do you mean by object? It's very simple. You, I'll just explain you. Hold on. System. Yeah, when you create the object is created in the memory. Object has all the features of the animal class. For example, name and the function sleep. These two will be present in the animal class. Animal class object. Okay, right. So you can create as many objects as you want by writing this line. I can create three objects. Every object will have name and sleep. Name and sleep. Name and sleep. Okay. And to reach out to every object, to refer to every object, you need to have object reference. Okay. You can write over here animal A1 equals to this. Animal A2 equals to this. Animal A3 equals to this. Okay. For every animal object, you have an object reference to reach out to the object. Okay, A1, A2, A3 are references to the object because you cannot just access these objects like this. You need to have object references. Okay, so you create three object references which will refer to these objects, and these object references are A1 and then A2 and then A3. Okay, right. Now, with A1, A2, A3, you can change the state of the objects. How can you change? You can look, object is different and object reference is different. Okay, object reference points towards the object. Out here, you can write A1 dot name is A, and over here you can write A1 dot name is B, and sorry, A2. If you write A3 dot, you will get the variable. Name is C. Okay, so out here in the memory, okay, this object gets the name A, this object gets the name B, and this object gets the name C. Okay, look, the good part is animal class is just having one name property. But by creating the objects of this class, you can give separate name for every object. You can print it over here. A1 dot name, and you can print all the three. A2 dot name and A3 dot name, and when you run this, see, it prints A, B, and C. Okay, right. Now, once this is done, okay, you can put a demarcation line. Hold on. Out here in the animal class, we also have a function sleep, and I'll write over here animal sleeping plus the name of the animal. Okay, and in the test animal class, you can print a1 dot sleep function. You can call it, and you can call. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not system.out.println. I'm sorry. You can simply write it's the call to a function. I'm sorry. A2 dot sleep and A3 dot sleep. So when A1 will call, I'll run this and show it to you. It will print animal sleeping A, then B, then C. Look, sleep function is there in every object. Okay, sleep function is there in every object. When A1 will call sleep, it will print the name of A1. When A2 will call sleep, it will print the name of A2 and then A3, like this. Okay, fine. So this is how the objects they work. Fine. Now object is different and object reference is different. That's what I told you. Okay. If I write over here A1 equals to A2, that means that A1 will now point, A1 will be removed from here, and A1 will start pointing where A2 had been pointing. A1 and A2 will point towards the same object. One object can have multiple object references. Okay, so out here, If I call the sleep function again after putting a demarcating line, if I run this, you will see the difference. Over here it was printing ABC, but over here it is printing BBC because both A1 and A2 point towards the same object. Okay, right. I hope you have got my point. Okay, if you have any questions, you can let me know.
I have
Any,
a question, Ashish. Tarun here.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, Ashish, why you created a separate class?
just like that, just to refer the object for that class over there.
Right, but how would that object knows that it like how would you know that there's a separate already there's a separate class and there are like I'm a little confused. We have two classes here, animal and test animal. But in
So
test animal we are not
Java
talking
comes to
anything.
know. Java comes to know about that. That's what the good part is. Java will automatically come to know about all the classes in the same package. They know each other.
Right, so that's my question. It should be in the same package, right? If I
Yeah,
create another class in day
if
one,
I create it in day one, hold on. If I create a class known as hello.java in day one package and in test animal, I write hello h equals to new hello, then it won't recognize it. You will have to move the mouse over it. It will give you the option to import hello from day one. You select that, import statement will be added on the top. Hello will be imported and then it will recognize it. But classes which are there in the same package, you don't need to worry about that.
okay,
Okay. In
yeah.
this day two, however, whatever classes I make, each and every class can access each other. But in day one package, we had this hello, which I tried to use over here. You have to import it. Anybody else with any questions?
Yeah, Ashish, this is Apad.
Yeah.
So day one, we are able to access it because it is in the same project, right? If it is in different project again, we can't access that until we.
There are ways to access that, but generally we don't do it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So fine.
Private in day one, hello, then can we
Your voice is very low.
if I make private instead of public, then can I access that class?
Private you cannot access. You cannot. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Private you cannot. All right. So this is the animal class, and I'm printing the name, calling out the functions. Right, and it's working perfectly. Okay. Now moving ahead. Java WebDriver, fine. Um, if I'm pointing A1 to the place where A2 is pointing, and I write A1 dot sleep, A2 dot sleep, A3 dot sleep, it calls the corresponding functions. But A1 and A2 are pointing towards the same object. So when I call the sleep function, it prints B only. If I write over here A1 dot name is equal to Z, I change the name for A1. So out here, this name will be Z now. Okay. If I repeat these lines, it will print me Z, Z, and C. So object is different. If I run this, it will print Z, Z, and C. In the memory, object is different, object reference is different. Okay, I can make an object reference. I can make an object reference like this, that is animal A3 equals to null. That means, or A4 equals to null. That means this is a reference of animal class object. Okay, but it is null. That is, it is not pointing towards any object. Okay, right. It is not pointing towards any object of the animal class. If I want, I can make it point by writing A4 equals to new animal. Okay, I can make it point towards the object of the animal class like this. Okay, right. So that's how you work with objects and object references. Now, technically, this is known as a global non-static variable. Global means that you can access it as a part of the object. It will it's always out of the function. Okay, this is known as a non-static function. Now, what is static? Suppose I have another global variable known as int ice. Okay, so over here, when I create the animal object a, b, and c, I write over here a1 dot i's are equal to 2. Then out here a2 dot i's are equal to 2 and a3 dot i's are equal to 2. So it makes no sense that I initialize this variable to 2 for every object. For every object, the value of this variable is equal to 2. Okay, fine. So it really doesn't matter that I should be keeping this as a part of the object. Okay, for every object, I'll show you in the diagram, the value of the variable i's is 2. And this is same for every object, right? So what we do is that we make this as static. Okay, I'll declare this as static. When I declare this static, what happens is that it will be removed from the object. Okay, and it will go and reside somewhere in the memory at a common location. Okay, you can call it ISIS2, and this location can be accessed by each object. Okay, right. So you can have one common location where the static variable can reside and all the objects can refer that. All right, fine. So static is not the part of object. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or please don't unmute your mic otherwise because I'm recording the session. Okay. So if you have any other variable which is common for all the objects to make it static, and static is never the part of the object. Okay. Static can be directly accessed. I can write over here See, first of all, it is giving you a yellow warning when I'm putting a1.eyes, a2.eyes. It is trying to tell you that this is static and you should not be accessing it with the object. Don't access static with object. You can access it directly with the name of the class. You can write animal dot and you will get the variable eyes too. So for all the objects by default eyes will be 2 and static can be accessed directly with the name of the class. To access non-static properties, global variables and functions, you have to create the objects. Okay, so this is a global static variable. Okay, so static is something which is common for all the objects and it can be directly accessed with the class name, that is animal dot and you put the variable eyes. So this is what objects are, what object references are, what static is, what non-static is. Okay, so the whole game or the whole scenarios in Selenium, they revolve around this. We have got some pre-existing classes. If you go to the official website of Selenium, yeah, hold on, yeah. So out here, if you go to the download section and you go to Java docs, the documentation. This is the documentation of Selenium. Okay. And out here, you see that if you scroll down, these are all the classes inside Selenium. Okay. Now you will see something known as, if you scroll down, it's alphabetic. If you'll see something known as a web driver written over here. Okay.
Ashish, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, what is really recommended? The class variables should be public or they should be protected or private?
I'll talk about access modifiers later on. I have not talked about them right now. It depends on what you want to do with them. That according to that we work with it. Okay. Access modifiers, I will just talk about it in some time. I'm just starting off with object oriented, right? Okay. So this is the WebDriver interface. Okay, what is interface? Again, I have not taught you. But these are some of the classes, existing classes inside Selenium. Okay. And um, you work with these classes. Every class represents a particular browser. For example, Chrome driver class, as the name suggests, it will help you to work on Google Chrome. Edge driver will help you to work on Microsoft Edge. Firefox driver, Internet Explorer driver, Opera, Safari. So there are different drivers for different browsers. These are the classes and we create the objects of these classes. Remote WebDriver is used in case of grid when you have to run the test cases parallelly. Okay, so I will talk about them. I'll talk about each of them. So let us see how you can work with basic driver classes by creating their objects. Okay, so let us start with say Firefox driver. All right, so I'll create a new class known as basics Selenium with the main function. Now I already have the Selenium jar files included in the project, so I can use these basics I can use the Firefox driver class, but I will have to import it. If I write Firefox driver ft equals to new Firefox driver, okay, and move the mouse over this, it will give me the option to import Firefox driver class from one of the packages inside the jar file. Okay, and in order to work with Firefox, it's not just that you have to create the object of this class. Okay, you also have to, hold on, you also have to go to the Selenium website, go to the download section, and you will see a link, Mozilla Gecko driver. Okay, and you need to download this. You click on this, and scroll down. Okay, they've changed the page. It releases. Just hold on. You click on this link, latest. Yeah, you can download the file for your OS, Windows or Mac or anything. Okay, and once you download, you will have a folder like this. Yeah, you'll have a file like this, geckodriver.exe. Okay, so you keep it at a location in your PC, copy the path, and give the command system.setProperty web. This is a standard command which you have to make. Okay, webdriver.gecko.driver and give the path of geckodriver.exe. Okay, right. Now webdriver.gecko.driver has to be in lowercase. Sometimes people what they do, they keep W capital for this or something. Java is case sensitive. Everything has to be in lowercase, otherwise it will not work. Okay, and the path has to be correct. Okay, and if I run this, hold on. So you see that a blank Firefox will open up. All right. Okay, I executed it 2-3 times to open 2-3 Firefox browser. It's okay. Right, a blank Firefox will open up. You can write over here Firefox driver dot, and you will get lot of non-static functions which are there in the Firefox driver class. You can use the function get, provide the URL http say yahoo.com, and when you run this, it will open Firefox and it will take you to yahoo.com. You see that all the classes are inbuilt. Okay, and all the functions are inbuilt. You need to understand those. You need to learn those. Okay, the commands are inbuilt. Okay, right. Now you can also write over here for Chrome driver. You can automate Chrome as well. All right. You can, I'll just comment these lines. Hold on. To automate Chrome, you create the object of Chrome driver. Look, if you just write CHR in Eclipse, Chrome starts with the spelling CHR, right? And if you hit Control space bar, you will get all the options of the classes which Eclipse can recognize with the spelling CHR. So this is what we want. I select it, and as I select it, it also gets imported on the top. Okay, right. So you can also do like this, and you can write Chrome driver dot get. Oh, sorry. HTTP yahoo.com. Now, mentioning the protocol is really important with Selenium. If you don't mention this, it won't work. Okay, and out here for Chrome, you have to download a Gecko driver. Okay, so sorry, you have to download Chrome driver, not Gecko driver. You can go to this latest link and you can click on latest release and you can download it for your operating system. Okay, for Windows 632-bit or 64-bit, this link will work. For 32 only. For 64 and 32, this link will work. I have it downloaded onto my PC over here, chromedriver.exe. Okay, right. So you go to your Eclipse and write the similar kind of a line which I had written, that is system.setProperty webdriver.chrome.driver, and you give the path to chromedriver.exe. Okay, right. You give the path to Chrome driver file, that is chromedriver.exe. When you run this code, you see browser will launch and it will take you to yahoo.com on Chrome. Okay, fine. Similarly, you have got Internet Explorer driver. Okay, you create the object of Internet. You just type Internet and you will get the option Internet Explorer driver over here. If you hit Control spacebar, okay, right, and I equals to new. For every browser, there is a driver which you need to download. For I, you can download Internet Explorer driver. Okay, it's on the top over here. Based on 32-bit I or 64-bit I, you can download, and I have kept it over here. Fine. And what you can do is you can simply write system.setProperty webdriver.i.driver, and in the value you can give the path of the exe. Okay, oh, sorry, this is my iDriver server.exe. You can give the path. Now you have to be careful with every driver. If you're working with Firefox, okay, if you're working with Firefox, suppose the latest version of Selenium is 3.14. It is supporting the version 61 of Firefox. Tomorrow, if the Firefox version gets upgraded to 65 or 62, then 3.14 will not support. So it's always better that you work with a stable version of Firefox 1 or 2 versions back, it really doesn't matter. Okay, because in the next release, then it gets supported. All right, fine. So with Firefox, you have to take care of this. With Chrome, you have to take care of the stuff that you are working with latest Chrome and latest Chrome driver.exe. If Chrome doesn't work, the solution is simple. Uninstall it, install it again, and download the latest Chrome driver exe. It's going to work. Okay, with I you can set the system property, you can create the object, you can write over here I.get to http yahoo.com. Okay, this is going to work, but with I, what you have to do and you have to be careful about is that, hold on, let it run. Okay, it will run and it will reach Yahoo. You see that? Okay. With I, you have to be careful that first of all you have to set the zoom level to 100%. You have to disable protected mode. Okay, when you work with I, 1 minute, I'll tell you. On I, if you hit Alt, you get the options. Yeah, you go to View and make sure the zoom level is 100%. Okay, otherwise it won't work. If you go to Tools, Internet Options, go to Security, you have 4 tabs over here, 4 options. For all the 4, make sure this is off, enable protected mode. This checkbox is not checked. Okay, in advanced section, go down, scroll down, and you will see security. And please check this checkbox, allow active content to run files on my computer. Okay, so these are the 3 settings which you have to be careful about I, that is allow active content. Otherwise, it gives issues. Right, there are other drivers as well, like Safari driver, Opera driver. These are unstable. Okay, these are not stable. All right, it's not so simple. Fine, but these are the primary drivers or the browsers with which we work. Now the question arises is that suppose if I have to work with Firefox or if I have to work with Chrome or will I have to write separate script for each of them? Because we create objects for each of them separately. No, the answer is not like that. Okay, you don't have to work separately. You can build common scripts and with the help of something known as interfaces. Okay. Shri, make sure you have a little older version like Firefox 59 or something and the latest Gecko driver. Okay. Look in Firefox. You can check the version from here. I'm having say 61 and the latest version of Selenium is getting supported. And make sure you go to Tools Options in Firefox and you find for the option Update. Please select this option, never check for updates. Don't let your Firefox update itself automatically, otherwise Selenium it stops working. Okay, right? Now, moving ahead, this is how you create objects and this is how you create the objects of every class, and every class has also got some static members. If you write Firefox dot driver dot, you will get some static members and all. Right. So we will see everything as we proceed with the course. Okay. Now, anybody with any questions?
Yeah, Ashish Apad here.
Yeah.
Ashish, you were telling like Yahoo should have certain predefined settings like 100% or disable protected mode. Can we set them through using this Selenium itself? Can we modify the settings?
We can, but some of the settings we cannot. So it's better to do it yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So it's better that you do it yourself, and
Why I thought is like if we can include that in the code like as a prerequisite initially to verify these settings.
you
So
cannot do this setting like allow active content and all with the coding. You have to do it from the I.
okay, great. Thank you.
Any?
Ashish, here.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the classes which we created, that is animal and test animal. Can you please one more time tell us why did we create two classes? One is animal and test animal. Why wouldn't we just create an
Just
object
to
for the animal class itself?
just to explain you, I could have made the main function over here as well,
Okay.
and I could have created the object of animal class over here. But just to explain you, I did that.
Okay. I mean, it is just a way, I mean,
Yeah.
another way to call. Okay. Okay. Fine. I mean, I was a little confused as to why we have to create the two different classes.
Whatever I made in the animal class thing, the main
Right.
function, I can copy it in my animal class as well, and I can run it.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was expecting. But then when you created another class, I thought there was a certain objective of
No,
doing.
objective was just to make you realize that it can be done in the second class as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anybody else with any question? Right. So the next thing which we are going to learn is constructors and this keyword with the and interfaces as well. And interfaces is something which will be really important and really significant as well, and we are going to learn that. Okay, because over here we have seen that we have different driver classes. For every browser we have a different driver, and we practically when we work we have to write a script which works on all the browsers, and for one browser we have got one driver. So how do I work with, how do I make one script which was uh, which works on all the browsers? Like for example, I in my test animal, I'll scroll down. I will just have to specify in the beginning of my script that my browser is say Chrome. Then whatever script I make should work only on Chrome. If I change it to I, then the script should work on I. Okay. So you have to dynamically work with the browsers. And generally we will read this parameter, we will not hard code it. We generally read it from the properties file or the Excel file when we build a framework. Okay, fine. So just to make you understand that how it works, I was telling you, right? Now, look, the objective of this complete course, whatever I am teaching you, is to make you understand how to build a framework. Okay, what is framework? It's something like it's a strategy. If I give you 100 test cases to automate, and you have to automate those 100 test cases, what is the strategy will you be going for? And that strategy is known as a framework. Okay, right. So I think I'll stop here for today. because I don't want to start with interfaces. I need time at a flow, like I need at least 40 minutes, 45 minutes for that. Okay. So we will mail you the recordings. Fine. And we will, you'll get an email from us. In case you want to join the course, you can come on the live chat of the website, qtpselenium.com. Okay. Right. All right then. Yeah. Okay.